Hi, I'm Kate Ward, and this is your Dickman Farms Smart Gardening Tip. And why not go native? So you've heard a lot about that, and we talk here at the Garden Center a lot about pollinators and improving habitats, improving the universe in general that you live in at home. So what are some ways that you can do that? Well, here's some great examples of what and why you'd want to include native plants in your landscape. Do you have to do an entire native garden? Not necessarily, but you certainly could have a fabulous garden out of natives alone. So what do we have here? Why do we want them? Well, first of all, adding natives into your garden is fabulous because of their either food source, because of their food source value. That is one of the number one things that they add for animals and insects out there. So what is food source? Whether it be leaves, so do remember, if you love butterflies, they have caterpillars. They need things to eat. So if you love butterflies, if you love hummingbirds, if you love birds, these are all great plants that help you attract and add biodiversity to your backyard. So what do we have here? Well, we have coneflowers here, and this is our native coneflower. So native means that it hasn't been changed in any way. That's the way we're using it. There's been no breeding to change or to go after a certain characteristic of the plant. It's just straight native. This would drop a seed, you get the same thing, maybe some diversity here and there. They have great pollen sources. You can see the ring on this echinacea starting right here, this little yellow ring. Great pollen source. Later on, this also becomes a great source. Here's an older flower for things like goldfinch who eat the seeds. So it's a wonderful, I have mine at home. You'll get some caterpillars that come in there. Well, again, not only do caterpillars turn into something pretty, but believe it or not, a few of them get eaten by songbirds. So that kind of thing. What else do we have here? We have a blue flag iris. Look at this change in texture. So sometimes you'll use grasses, and there are some native grasses, but this gives you the texture of a grass. But this one, again, natural, has this little purple at the base. It'll have beautiful flowers earlier this season. It's done blooming, but it gives you a textural change that is fabulous in the garden. Plants like this just coming into bloom. This will take some part sun out there. This is called turtlehead. And who doesn't want something that's like, oh, cute little turtlehead? Because name 4, here's this. Actually, this is loved by bumblebees. They get in here and they get trapped, kind of. It's really funny to see them. They're little bumblebee booties hanging out there going trying to get in this little flower. But it's how the flower causes them to pollinate by getting them stuck in there. And they do get out, but so that's a great one. These are bee balms. You've seen these before. Bee balms are fabulous for things like hummingbirds. Again, this particular one is out of bloom at the moment, but I think we do have a picture here. We do. Of that flower. So it's a purple, it's got a little bit of a speckle to the throat here on this flower. It's actually really neat. It's really a neat two-tone on that flower. Coreopsis. Here is a coreopsis called Sunshine Superman. So again, we can see, I can't get it enough on here to show you, but this is all of these right here is all a pollen source. This is great, again, for our native honeybees, honeybees and native little solitary bees. When I say little, for these little native bees, they're this big. And they're usually beautiful colors like emerald green, bright, shiny blue. Let's go walking over here. What else do we have? These are called Indian pinks. Blooms this time of year. Is going to take part shade to full sun, but just a really neat, different flower. These are spectacular. I have one at home. I love this plant a lot. Moving over, things called, this is Liatris, also called gay feather. He's just happy. Fabulous for butterflies. It's already bloomed this season. So that's that. Agastache. Here, also called Mexican mint, but a native here. Sneezeweed. Don't know why it's called sneezeweed. Most people aren't allergic to it, but it is. So again, great pollen source. I'm getting down there, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. And a perennial ageratum right here. So this beautiful blue forms a good. So this has just been, as I said, a tip of the iceberg for your native plants. so that you can get out there and garden. This will be right here when you come in. And this has been your Dickman Farms Smart Gardening Tip. If you need more help, as always, come on in. We'll see you soon.